Hey everybody, Anna and I are here. We both have some experience with the turtle tub, so we wanted to give an explanation of sort of all the equipment, the setup, and then how to actually perform the swaddle immersion bath, just so everyone had sort of a visual on how this would work in the NICU and in the nursery. So first we have set up here, the baby is naked, swaddled in a clean blanket, and then set up underneath the baby, which we set up prior, was a clean towel, a diaper for when the baby comes out all nice and clean, a clean washcloth to dry off the head, a hat to keep the baby nice and warm, and then you could go ahead and change all the linens of the bassinet so that you have fresh linens for after the bath. If you're in the NICU, you want to make sure you have a new set of leads and a new pull socks available just to make everything transition easier. So the baby would be here in the crib. Also, we have our turtle tub set up. We've gone ahead and put our warm water inside. There is a thermometer on the bottom for you to use. It gives a too hot, too cold, and sort of that median part. But also,
as you can see,
also it doesn't always work. So, you know, obviously we're using the same way. You know, obviously test the water yourself. You also want to have the little clear basin, which we'll fill with clean water to use for the head. The comb that comes in the bath kit, and then we're also pulling out a toothbrush, especially for the preemie babies and for babies who don't have a lot of hair. This is a good method for getting some of that gunkiness out on their first bath. It's great to have an empty gradu feed, which is good for when the baby is swaddled inside, to be able to use that to sort of rinse the baby off. It's just something small, not a lot of water, easy to use. You've got your bath soap, some extra washcloths, and a couple 4x4s if you want them to clean off the face with just clean water and no soap.
Okay, so before we get started on the actual bath, a couple things. Some babies that would be excluded from the bath would be babies that are under 32 weeks if they have access, so any kind of line, including a peripheral line, and if they're on any kind of respiratory support. Also, if they are having thermoregulation issues, obviously you wouldn't want to bathe them. There's a wonderful poster outside of the NICU that has all of the information that you can look at for exclusions. There's more information there that you can look at if you have any questions. The other thing that I'll mention too is that if the family is present for the bath and would like to do skin to skin after, I would offer that and then get the space set up for them to go ahead and do that, just to allow for an easy transition after the bath. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have our big man over here. Like we said before, he's already all ready for his bath, so we're just going to go ahead and get him from this point into the bath. So we'll have the family try to be as involved as they would like to be. We want them to get their hands in there and so they can really get comfortable with it. So we'll move our little moose over into this bathtub. So as you see, he's already swaddled. He's continuing to stay in just that one blanket. We're going to go ahead and put him in. You can see he fits really nicely, but some kids might be a little bit smaller, so you can support him as needed. For the smaller kids, you may really want to get a hand behind them to support behind their neck. For the bigger kids, they might be able to rest in there pretty comfortably without a hand behind them. It just kind of depends on their size. So what we're going to start with first is the baby's eyes and face, and we really don't want to have any soap for that, which I'm sure all of you guys do this every day, but so you're going to want to get it wet. You're going to want to wash their eyes from the inner to the outer. You're going to want to use just a different place on that same cloth is fine for each eye. And then the nice thing is if you have multiple of these, and here in the NICU we really have access to these 4x4s, which are really nice, so you can kind of just use a clean one each time. But you're going to want to clean behind his ears and, you know, in his chin. This baby's actually very dirty. All over his neck and everything. So if the baby has a lot of vernix in his neck and in his folds and stuff like that, you don't want to rub it all off because it's actually really good for the baby to have it on. So you don't want to be rubbing super hard. You just want to mostly try to get all of the birth stuff, the blood, that kind of stuff off that you can. After you feel like you've gotten the face and the neck really clean, you're going to want to start moving to the arms. And what you'll do is you'll go ahead and get one arm out. You'll keep the rest of the baby swaddled. We have our nice little gradu feed here. We have our soap. So we're gonna wanna go ahead and we're gonna wanna go
I don't know
ahead
if we should put soap on the baby.
What?
Should we put soap on the baby?
We're gonna put some soap on here, okay? And then we're gonna pretend that there's soap on the glove. We're not sure what we're supposed to do with this baby. And then we're gonna go ahead and wash the baby's arm. So you can use this little Gradu-Feed to kind of rinse the baby off. You can use the washcloth to kind of wipe any areas that need a little bit more attention. Once you feel like that hand is good, you're gonna go ahead and swaddle it back in. So the baby continues to feel secure. You're gonna wanna use firm, constant, consistent pressure. That's gonna help the baby to feel calm. Anytime, this is a really good time. If the parents don't really feel comfortable doing it, this is a great time for the family to help. Even just giving a hand for the feet to kind of make the baby feel a little bit more secure, kind of those firm boundaries that will help the baby to feel calmer in the bathtub. That's an easy way for them to be involved if they don't feel comfortable doing more. So you're going to do that with both arms, same process, and tuck the arm back in. You can also, at this point, go ahead and wash the chest. If it's a NICU baby, you obviously want to have all the leads and everything off at this point. You're going to be cleaning that whole belly area. Then once you feel like that's really clean, you're going to do the same process with each leg. So you're going to get one leg out, put it back in, do the other leg. Okay, so after you finish the baby's legs, we're going to go ahead and do the back. And the back is a little bit different than what we are typically used to doing because we do have the baby swaddled. And we're not going to unswaddle the baby to do the back. So that's going to be a big change for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the baby to the side while it's kind of supporting the back of the neck, okay? We're going to put, you know what, I'm going to roll the baby towards me only because I can that way show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to put soap on the baby's back through the blanket. This is a really good opportunity to use the Gradu-Feed as well to kind of keep the back nice and warm because this part of the body is going to be out of the water, so putting water that's warm on top is going to help. You're going to want to rub the baby's back through the blanket to try to clean it off. So some might be concerned that we aren't able to get a lot of the vernix off at this point through the blanket. Just try your best, but you also really want that vernix to stay on. So you're mostly just trying to get the baby clean from a standpoint of getting the blood and all that stuff off, but the vernix is okay to stay on. So you're going to clean the baby. Good opportunity to get the back of the baby's neck really good, and when you feel like the baby's clean enough, we're going to put the baby back in. So finally, we're going to do the genital area, so we can go ahead and take a clean washcloth. We'll clean that place with soap. So you're going to do the same kind of thing. You're going to unwrap the baby, clean off the diaper area, and then once you're done with that, you're going to re-swaddle the baby, and then finally, we'll do the hair. So for the hair, we have this lovely second tub of water. So what we're going to do is we have these two different types of combs. So with a baby that has particularly long hair, this is still going to be your best bet. But we also have a toothbrush. So if you have a preemie or a baby that doesn't have a lot of hair, who really doesn't need something like this is actually a really great tool to like gently clean that baby's hair and head. So you can kind of use your discernment over which one's better in that case. So we're going to do the same thing we always do with the hair, but we're just going to do it in the tub. So what you're going to want to do is use this clean water to get that baby's hair all wet. Then you're going to take your soap and you're going to put some on the baby's head. You're going to give it a good hair massage like you like to do. You're going to use your comb to get all that gunk out, the blood and the wonderful crusty stuff. And then re-rinse with the fresh water again to kind of get all of it out as much as you need to. And once your baby is bathed, we will go ahead and take the baby out of the tub. So we can unswaddle the baby because this is going to be soaking wet. Quickly get the baby to our pre-prepared spot over here. We're going to want to immediately towel the baby. And this is a good teaching opportunity for families too, to show them that setting up this beforehand is very helpful in just keeping your baby warm and happy after the bath. So then we're going to dry the baby's hair quickly so that we can go ahead and get that hat on. So having this washcloth here is really helpful because it's already prepared. You can dry that hair as, super fast. Get that hat on that baby's head. And now we're ready to start skin to skin with mom or whatever we need to do from there. Put leads back on, etc.
So we just want to say thanks for watching the video. We hope it's helpful. We did this video in the NICU because that's where we were tonight, but we hope that this should be used in the NICU. It should be used out on the floor on postpartum. It should be used when baths are given in the nursery. So by techs, by nurses, by anyone who's giving a bath. If you have any questions, obviously you can refer to the turtle tub wall out there that looks beautiful, and you can ask Anna and I because we have some experience with this. But ultimately, it should just be a very nice, calm atmosphere for the baby to either get their first or additional baths while they're here with us, and really try to involve the parents so that they feel comfortable at home when they're administering a bath to their own baby. So, thanks!